Hello, Danielle.
Hi.
Welcome to the wonderful world of academia.
Oh goodness! This is a world I'm very excited about. We're in the main hall. I see.
Yes. So this is Final Fantasy Type-0.
Ooh.
The
Logistics
brand new.
officer.
I'm gonna actually just complete a quest here. This logistics officer wants 3 ethers, and I already have them. So there you go. I got a bunch of X potions as rewards.
That was easy.
This is Final Fantasy Type-0, brand new Final Fantasy game, or kind of new, originally released on the PSP, and now never brought to the US, though. Now it is finally in the US, and in an HD format on Xbox One and PlayStation 4. This is the PlayStation 4 version we're checking out, and it's a weird, interesting Final Fantasy game. They've done a lot of stuff that is very different from regular Final Fantasy games, starting off with the fact that you're playing as a class full of students at a military academy.
They have your character here has the swishiest cape.
They all have capes. That's how you tell that they're from Class 0. They have red capes.
I see.
And Class 0 is the class of, like, hardcore badasses. I think we're going to complete another quest here. But
Phantoma Menace, too?
What yes.
Nice.
One of the weird things about this game is that in between doing actual story progressing missions, you get to walk around the academy. So here I'm going to find out, like, the character Rem, who's one of the other controllable characters, they want to come to this office. So I switched over to Rem, went back there.
Does she have a cape too? I didn't quite notice.
Oh yeah,
there.
look.
Oh, that's an awesome cape.
Their symptoms.
And what we're going to get here is a little bit of a story development from the character of Rem. We're going to find out more about her backstory. In particular, we're finding out here that she has a life-threatening illness. But this is basically showing, like, when you see those green exclamation points, or when you see, like, an area where they're saying, bring a certain character here, that's going to give you little cutscenes and skits. But it's also going to progress time. So you may have saw it in the corner when we were running around. It said 3 days, X hours left until the next mission. So you have to do as much as you can within that amount of time, and then certain actions progress time. So doing this, getting this cutscene, is going to progress time forward 2 hours. So we're 2 hours closer to our next mission. And once it's mission day, you can't do any of that side stuff anymore.
That's
so
an
you need
interesting
to
way of sort of arranging the gameplay like that.
yeah, it's a little bit. People may think of it as a kind of borrowed from Persona a little bit,
Sure,
and that time
yeah.
management aspect of stuff. But it's a cool way of doing things. So here we're going to actually go outside. We're going to leave academia, which jumps the clock forward 6 hours.
Oh, every time you leave?
Yes. So you have to be very careful about how often and when you choose to leave. But, if you want to go and level up and get into fights, obviously it's important to go outside and find some monsters, which we are about to do here. So there are 14 playable characters.
Oh, wow.
And you have access to all of them right from the bat, so it's a little bit overwhelming, but what's cool is they all play very differently. So I'm playing as Jack here. He uses a little, like...
a cool sword.
He uses, like, a samurai sword, and when he has it pulled out, he moves very slowly, very methodically. I moved forward elsewhere in the map here. We're right by this town that has been destroyed.
By lava, it looks like.
Well, it's...
Or is it just a crater where there was a meteor shower or some crazy
No,
thing?
you get to see how it was destroyed, but basically the story of this world, obviously you're at a military academy. There's a big war going on,
yes.
and you're the nation that is being invaded in this war. And there are a lot of casualties of war, one of which was that whole town.
Oh, wow.
Here's a giant slime thing.
Yes, there's a blob of a monster trying to kill you right here.
Yes, and he is strong against physical attacks, so I'm trying to use magic, but my fire is not leveled up very much, so it's not doing a great amount of damage. So I think I'm probably just going to switch over. What I love about this game is, so like I said, 14 playable characters. Each of those characters has their own weapon type, and they all play totally differently. They all feel completely different. So like I said, with this character, you get these, like, slower, more methodical hits. You kind of have to dash in and out because you walk really slowly. As you level up, you can start stringing together. This is very early in the game, but as you level them up, you'll be able to string together more hits in a chain. and you'll get some other abilities as well. But then you see over there Seiss, who is swinging a scythe.
Oh, yes, naturally.
And she just moves completely differently. She does big sweeping area of effect attacks. And it's really, like, the combat system is simple at first, but it becomes really fun figuring out these different characters and testing each of them and figuring out which ones are your favorites.
That makes a lot of sense. I was going to ask you, with 14 characters, are any of them written, so far with the writing, does it seem, pretty even, or any of them kind of got the writer's attention, the most, sort of the favorites?
There's definitely like 2 or 3 characters that get a lot more time and character development as the plot progresses. Each character definitely stands out. They all have their own little quirks. I jumped ahead here. We're on a mission now.
Oh, cool.
So what's going on here is this is a few hours into the game, and we are in the enemy capital city, and basically got caught.
It's like the hallway from the Matrix.
Yes.
A lot. Sorry.
We basically got caught, and we're trying to escape. So as you can see, tons of Imperial soldiers, which are the bad guys. One of the things you might notice is after I kill enemies, I'm also kind of sucking these spirits up from them. That's Phantoma, which you saw mentioned earlier. And basically, there's a mechanic which, after you kill an enemy, you can suck in their Phantoma, use that to power up your spells, and also gain magic points.
So are there different kinds of Phantoma, like
yes.
elemental types and that sort of thing? Okay.
Yeah, so like to power up fire spells, I'm going to need red Phantoma. The white Phantoma I was getting there will power up my ice spells, and so on and so forth. This is a little bit later ahead in the mission. I just kind of wanted to show off some of the different, the variety that you get in these missions. So you're not just always fighting through hallways. Later on in this mission, as we're trying to escape...
trains.
Yeah, as we're trying to escape from the city, we decide to escape on train. The enemy doesn't like that very much, so they send another train and kind of board us. So you're going to get to see some different fighting here. I'm playing as Machina now, who is a character who uses dual swords, and as you can see, I currently have swords that are made of like clockwork, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, this is pretty rad.
Yeah, I love the character design in this, and it's Tetsuya Nomura, who's done character design in Final Fantasy forever.
Yeah.
But I feel like this is some of the more interesting character design he's done in a long time.
Yeah, I think this is awesome. This is really nice. I mean, especially, the capes are helping too.
Yes.
With the level of, I'm a swishy badass. And,
for the HD upgrade, I think the most work has gone into these main characters, as it should have.
Sure.
You can see like the actual environments and backgrounds do not look very good.
Yeah, fairly.
And even the characters, when you get into cutscenes, don't look great. They have very limited animation in cutscenes, but in combat, I think they look awesome.
Which is what you spend probably.
Yeah, like 90% of the time, certainly. It is a little weird though, because it's just Final Fantasy's known for having really good presentation, and they definitely kind of let that fall to the wayside here. Here we had a victory in this section, so we're going to move on to the next section. I'm actually going to jump ahead here and show up the boss of this area, I believe, which is a giant scorpion.
Oh my god.
Something awesome that you can do at any point. You'd like this character because he uses his fist to fight, but you're not going to get to see that because I just sacrificed myself to summon a golem.
Whoa.
So now I'm controlling... Yeah. So summons in this game, the way that you summon enemies is by sacrificing yourself. Part of the way the game works is when your characters die on a mission, you can replace them with one of the other 14 characters. And it's when all 14 die that you get a game over. But since your characters essentially operate as a resource, you can sacrifice them to summon in traditional Final Fantasy summons, and then you actually control them. So I summoned Golem here. You can summon in Ifrit. You can summon in Shiva, Bahamut, all of the classics.
Do you have a favorite summon?
I am a big fan of Shiva in this game because she is an ice goddess, and in this game she actually skates around on ice skates.
Oh, that's amazing.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that is great.
So I'm going to show off another section right now. this is one of the cool things. There are these side missions in this game, and again, this is another way that they introduce variety and kind of mix up what you're doing so that you kind of are always changing. These side missions basically turn the game into a little strategy game.
Ooh.
So the way this works is we're on the world map now. We're trying to take over a certain area, and there are these domains that the enemy is sending troops out from. I can kind of distract them, and that's going to allow my troops to get closer and start taking over the domain.
Oh, interesting.
And as you can see, like, I'm not, this isn't like the regular combat. I'm not super powerful.
Yeah.
I get knocked down really easily. But the idea is just that I need to distract them long enough for my troops to get close. And now they won't be sending out troops because they're just trying to defend.
Oh, excellent.
And hopefully,
this looks like a nice little palette cleanser, basically.
Yeah, and it can be a little bit slow-paced, especially as you get further on and these sections get bigger. The number of domains and maps you're trying to take over get bigger, but I liked them. I liked just taking a break from the regular stuff and doing this. All right, so we took over this domain.
Excellent.
We're going to... oh, it looks like there is a turret in this forest that is now firing at our domains. We're going to go get rid of that. I'm playing
also a glowing blue. Oh, okay.
That just heals you, yeah.
Very nice.
This is my favorite character. Her name is Sink, and she is a awesome schoolgirl with a ponytail that swings a giant, incredibly powerful mace.
Oh, that's awesome.
And you can see she basically is falling over as she swings it. Once we've taken over domains, we can actually choose which type of troops we want to send to attack. So I'm sending these blaze units, which are good against infantry, to take over the city of Akvi. This is not our main target, but they want us to take it over first before we go for our main target.
Do you have a sense of sort of the ongoing war, like the whole campaign that's going on as you play through the game? Is that sort of a big part of it?
Yeah, I mean, the whole game is telling the story of that campaign, which is, again, a way in which it's different from other Final Fantasy games, because it's not like this you're saving the world epic, you know?
Yeah.
You're not journeying the world to save everything. You are literally soldiers in the army for your one nation.
That's pretty cool. That's I mean, I don't even know the number of Final Fantasies there have been. So.
A lot.
many. So it's kind of cool to have a different focus.
Yeah, definitely. I like it. So what happens with these strategy segments is with the actual towns, not the domains. Once you have taken down the shield, you get to invade them and sort of finish the taking over this town. So then you get to kind of getting close and
victory.
Isn't she rad?
Yes.
Isn't she
oh my god,
so
that
cool?
animation is incredible when she's swinging it.
She is my favorite. I like her so much.
She's pretty awesome.
All of the characters are really cool, but Sink is just the best.
Yeah, I can definitely see it. She means it when she's swinging that thing. She means business.
And it shows you how different the gameplay feels. It's such slow, measured swings that you have to really carefully line yourself up. You can't just be button mashing with her.
Seems almost Monster Hunter-y a little tiny bit, in a way.
Very, with this weapon type it is. With other weapon types, it's much more like you're bouncing all over the place and button mashing, but again, that's kind of what I dig, is that the weapon types feel so different. And that is why I like her so much, because she feels sort of Monster Hunter-y, as you said. Alright, so now we have one more domain to take over, and then we have to go for Corsi, which is our main. So these guys have a special unit type. It says they specialize in machine-disabling lightning magic, so I'm gonna send them over here.
Let's go, losers.
Take over Domain 2.
I like how he's getting his troops ready by calling them losers.
It's sort of like our video meetings, right?
Yeah, it kind of is. Come on, losers. I love the voices.
Yeah, they're pretty good. The voice acting isn't great in this, but at least in these segments, it's not great in a way that I can appreciate. In the actual cutscenes, it's a little bit more frustrating, but.
I see.
So what's going on here is the main capital, or the city we're trying to take over, has set out these big mech units. So again, I'm going in here not because I'm particularly well matched against them.
You're trying to distract them.
But I'm trying to distract them so that my other troops can take over Domain 2 and then go through Domain 2 to get to the capital city, which they will accomplish pretty quickly here.
I feel For a small girl with a big hammer, you're doing a real good job with those mechs.
happy. I'm happy with how it's turning out.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to try and take over Corsi, and I will switch to one of my other characters, though it pains me, just to show it off.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Save the town, of course. They call us the Red Demons because we have red capes, which is pretty cool.
Perfect. Be the red swish demons. I would prefer that, you know. If it were up to me. If I were naming the unit.
Sure. And we'll switch over to Trey here, who uses a bow.
Very nice.
So obviously it's a range, which is helpful. Also, you can, with the bow, you can kind of charge it up and do more powerful attacks by charging it, or you can just kind of like really quickly shoot. And he also has something you'll see here. One of my skills. There's different skills that you can learn and equip as you level up, but the one I have equipped right now is Dynamite Arrow. So I just shot that at that guy, and he is going to blow up and kill a bunch of people with him, which is great.
Down. It's just like, oops.
I like that he took a bunch of people with him. I like that. I was really happy with that.
It's good to get those multi-kills. You're getting a lot of Phantoma here, too.
Yes, and the bodies disappear after a while, so I kind of... A lot of times I will stop and do it in battle. And here we'll switch over to 8, who has the Platinum Knuckles.
Nice.
I figured you would want to see a little bit of this. He's going to punch this robot in the face.
Oh my god, that's what I would do.
I'm trying to use the explosive fist move here, but it has a long wind-up, and I totally biffed it. That robot's moving around too fast. There we go.
What I do in the gym. Basically.
Yeah, you punch robots.
Punch robots.
So this is Final Fantasy Type-0. It's really rad. I think that you should probably play it.
Yeah, this looks like there's a lot going on, but it looks like the parts cohere pretty nicely.
The end. So, it's finally come.